You're listening to Bro Down Podcast all fucking day. Oh, yeah.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Bro Down Podcast. I'm Andy Smith.
And I'm Tim Fulton, and this is another part to the Chronicles. We're taking a page out of John Krasinski's handbook, and we're going to be talking about some good shit going on in the world today. Yeah, why not, dude? Because
I like
with
it.
the with the internet and the news, it is so easy to get caught up in nonstop terrible things because that is always what it's being thrown in front of our face. So I want to talk about some good things, both small and large, just to get people to be a little happy.
I like it. I'm 100% on board. What do you got for me?
All right, number one. I think I talked about this last time, but my sister-in-law has been making face masks for local hospitals and local people for free.
Oh,
And she has been like working tirelessly. I got to give props to her. She's made countless face masks, and whenever she needs anything, like she's using like hair ties that girls use to like rubber band it around the ears.
yeah.
She needed just a handful of those. She had like 20 packs sent to her by people, just ridiculous. She'll be
That's
like, no,
awesome.
yeah, she's like, no, these face masks are free, but people keep throwing her cash so she can buy more supplies. So like, it's
Well,
not
that's
just her
nice.
yeah, so it's not just her doing the good things, it's other people trying to reciprocate as much as they can. And
Yeah,
there's a bunch of hospitals out there right now that have face masks because of her. So
that's fucking awesome. Just shout out to your sister-in-law then for doing that. It's
yeah.
funny. My mom's been making masks for all of her friends and stuff up in Vermont.
Oh yeah.
Because she's got a like a whole sewing setup up there. She's like actually really good at that stuff.
Hmm.
So she's been making face masks. She actually made one for the dog too.
Oh.
I don't think she wears it, but she made one for her. But yeah, she's been making them for all her friends just so that they can have like a permanent one, I guess, in case they run out, which is pretty cool that people are doing that. As small as some people might say it is, it's a big help because apparently there's a new thing where you have to have one when you go into a store now. So that's a really handy thing, and that's an awesome thing that your sister-in-law is doing.
Yeah, you know what? It's required, and at this point, they're trying to make like fun ones too. Like she has like a whole like floral print for women, and like this like rednecky buck one for
Oh,
guys.
I want a Bane mask.
All right, you need to contact Ron for that.
I want a Bane mask, an Iron Man helmet. Oh, we can get crazy with this stuff. Batman. Where's the face mask?
Dude, when I come
Where's the
back,
toilet paper?
when I come back, you're gonna be Batman. I'll be Robin. Yes, I made a short joke on my own behalf.
I'm gonna walk in as Christian Bale Batman, and you're gonna walk in as Robin from the Adam West Batman. And you're gonna be like, I thought we were going like, what are you talking about?
I thought we were doing the other one.
No, we're not. All right, so what else you got for me? That's some good shit.
Some bigger news stuff. Apparently, New York specifically. So, New York has been the epicenter of the whole coronavirus for at least America. Considering how big the country is, New York and the surrounding areas has 1/5 of the cases. Which
Yeah,
is
it's hard to stay inside and get away in a tightly packed area like the tri-state, but New York is a different level of sitting on top of one another.
completely different level. So it's hard to imagine that many people obeying the ordinance and like doing the right thing.
Yeah,
But they are saying that the curve has officially started flattening or has flattened.
good.
So even though we are the epicenter of, at least in this country, of horrid, we are hitting the curve. And hopefully, knock on wood, all good things aside, we're going to be going downhill from here in the positive aspect.
Well, at least if it stays steady, it's not increasing, which you can do something with it being steady more than increasing because you can at least kind of gauge, what kind of things you need, how to staff, and all that. So, it's really good that I didn't hear that, but that's awesome news if
Yeah,
that's
I heard
legit.
I heard that a couple of days ago.
Oh,
So like
really?
literally like 1 to 2 days ago. So I mean people aren't going like head over heels excited about it because we're still like in the thick of it, but it's the turning of the tide.
Yeah.
Like
Well, like
the
you said, it's so much doom and gloom that it's hard to like accept good news, but that is good news.
yeah, yeah. All right, so next on my list, we're going back to patting my family on the back a little bit
Oh,
because
Jesus.
why not have a little nepotism in the mix? So my brother made a Facebook post. He wanted to do something. He saw my sister-in-law doing something, so he felt like doing something on his own.
Didn't want to get one-upped. I get it.
Didn't.
It's a guy thing.
So he made a Facebook post saying that he wanted to make a donation, not face masks, but they have those face shields. Those are those plastic ones that completely cover your faces.
Oh, like a
That
welder's mask, but like a see-through one, like a grinding mask kind of
yeah,
thing.
yeah. They're really popular in the hospitals right now because they significantly better for protection. So
Okay.
the nurses and everyone there really need them, but they're in short supply. So my brother made a Facebook post basically saying, "Listen, I'm taking donations. I'm going to be doing this." And he literally just set something up to his Venmo real quick. And within 24 hours, I think he got $2,900.
Holy shit.
Yeah, in 24 hours.
Holy
So
shit.
he went to the place.
He
That was
going to
enough.
Sizzler.
So we threw a fucking rager, kegs.
Can you imagine? Can you fucking imagine?
I could.
I could.
So he went to the place. It was enough to buy, I think, like I'm rounding the numbers, but I think it was enough to buy like 250 masks,
Holy shit.
and they threw in an extra 50 just on top, just because.
Holy shit.
So he was able to get 300 masks. He donated them to 2 different local hospitals. So local hospitals are doing A-OK these days, thanks to the Fulton fam.
Oh, wow. Dude, that's awesome. I feel like a real piece of shit.
Yeah, you go back to making your garden there, Andy. While
I'll go back to making sure self-preservation is at the top of my list. Man.
Fultons were like, "How can we help?" And he's like, "Where do I get bullets?"
I'm going to give out free hugs.
Oh, that's big for you. You don't like being touched.
No. Especially since there's an ordinance against it right now. It works out perfectly for me.
The one time that you shouldn't be touching people, you're going to kill them all.
I'm going to offer to do it. Just, hey, I offered. Nobody wanted a hug, okay? Don't ask me again.
I tried. Next up on my list, have you seen the environment memes?
With like, oh, there's dolphins back in the canals at Venice, and you could drink the water through your eyes. It's so clean.
People were putting pizzas on the street of Italy and saying nature has returned. So fucking memes within the past month and a half have been so golden. I've been living my dream.
Yeah, they've been pretty good. There's definitely always an influx of too many, but there's been some that are really good.
Some are so on fucking point. It's absolutely ridiculous. I'm in this one group chat and I had to mute it because it just became too much.
Okay.
But every day I'm getting like 20 different memes of fucking like hysterical shit. Like when I say I'm in my glory, I'm in my glory. But there is like the serious good news to that is that the environment is starting to like heal significantly. So like for all the jokes aside, like the amount of smog that has been cut out has been substantial, and it's not just like the now impact. Everyone's really considering that this is going to be the turning. They said this in 2008 too. After the financial crash, there was a bit of a downturn for smog and all that stuff because people weren't leaving their house and doing stuff, and they weren't buying things as much. But because of like the internet and like people actually taking serious notice of what's happening to the environment in a positive aspect, there's people are hoping that this is going to be like the wake up call of, hey, we've been living irresponsibly. This is how we should be doing things. And it's going to be like the good wave.
Yeah, you know what's the craziest part about it is it like to me when I hear those kind of things, because like I've seen pictures of like the Venice canals and they're like clean. I've never seen them clean before. I don't know if those are real, if they're doctored or whatever, but I've kept hearing about like all these positive things that like are happening with like the world and nature and the carbon levels and all this stuff and the smog, like you said. And what's crazy to me is that it's only been a couple months or weeks since like the major shutdowns have happened and how quickly things like that are turning around. And it's only making me think like, okay, we could probably like go through a couple of actions to like reduce a lot of the unnecessary shit that we do on a daily basis, because even if it's like a minimal thing, like, but when you see like I'm working under the assumption that those Venice Canal things are true, and it could
Yeah.
be from not the the boats not kicking up debris or whatever. But if that can go from like undrinkable non see-through water to crystal clear in like 3 weeks from nobody dumping shit or like driving in there with the motors and everything, like it doesn't take that long to see a visible difference in something like that. So it's like we can do the little things that kind of like make a bigger impact, because you would think that how much damage we've done to the world, it would take so long to reverse it, and it might. But with just this shutdown for like a couple weeks, like you say, all these things are coming out where like all these positive things for the planet, and it's only been a couple weeks. It hasn't been that long.
No, dude, it hasn't even been. I mean, today's the 11th. It hasn't even really been a full month since this part of the country has been on serious lockdown. Other parts of the world have been for a little bit longer, but like it's all right. We'll say a month and a half. We'll say a month and a half that we've been in serious lockdown mode. That's not that long when you really think about it.
No. And people are still doing stuff. Like people are still like some people are still working. It's just the manner in which they are working has changed. Like a lot of people are not working, but just like a majority of people not doing the same thing has made apparently an incredible impact. If we're going off of what these articles are saying, in a very short amount of time. Maybe we should have like a Corona Remembrance Week where like everyone for like 1 week just like shuts down, like nobody goes out and buys stuff, everyone just like collectively as a world group just like calms it down, like companies get on board, they use it, they could use it as like a little political or like a campaign so that like the week before people come in and buy extra shit or whatever, but then just have a week where like everyone does nothing and we just like report on the levels of pollution and stuff that just plummet after everyone just sits at home.
Yeah, I'm all for that. I think that's a fucking fantastic idea.
Right.
Every little bit, and the whole remembrance thing is the most important part of it. The whole idea of, hey, remember when we shut down and things got a little bit better? We can keep doing that.
Yeah, that's like one of the more positive things about this whole thing is that it's kind of showing the impact that people have on a daily basis, because we've only stopped doing the stuff that we do on a daily basis that's like driving your car and going to the store and all this stuff, and that impact that it has over like a long period of time. But as soon as you stop doing it, it's like, holy shit, like what? That's what that does?
Yeah.
You know?
I think that's going to be the biggest change because everyone's been working from home so much that everyone's realizing it's not optimal. Like a lot of people are saying there's no reason why anyone ever has to go into an office. No, you do. I get it. I personally don't work as efficiently when I'm home, but I don't think I have to be in an office 5 days a week for 8 hours a day. I could probably do 2 to 3 days a week and do the rest from home. And I think a lot of the world is like that.
I think yes. I think one of the things I saw this a meme that said one of the lessons that we've learned from this is that most jobs can be done from home, at least for the most part, and the ones that can't are underpaid.
Yeah.
Meaning like first responders and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But I think it has shown that a lot of people can work from home for a majority of the things that they do, and there is that sense of like companies want a big brother accountability thing, and right now their only way to do that is working from home and keeping up, whatever. But I think that might be I think the whole environment thing probably needs to be covered a little more to put a positive spin on this, and maybe just because if you don't tell people, they're not going to know, right?
Exactly.
If people don't cover the fact that all these carbon levels are going down and the waters are clearing up and all this stuff, then nobody's going to know that it's happening. And so much of it is put on all these things that we see constant over and over again about the virus. And I don't think it's that bad of an idea to throw a little time towards towards the environment talk. But again, I think companies might want to think about maybe letting people work from home, like you said, even 2 days a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be an optimal way to do it. I think that's a really good idea.
Just the traffic level. The amount of
Dude,
traffic. Like, I fly to work now. I
I'm
fly like an eagle.
I'm the same way. When I do have to go into work, it used to take me like 30, 35 minutes in the morning. It take me like 20 to 25 now. There's no one on the roads. It's glorious.
Yeah, well, it's here's the thing too. It's a twofer when it comes to traffic, right? Because if you're driving in your car and you're going into the city, which a lot of people do,
Yeah.
and it takes you 2.5 hours to get from Jersey to the city in the morning, and then during the week, when there's a lockdown, it takes you 40 minutes.
Yeah.
So not only that, like, you're getting a twofer because you're staying at home, but all those cars that would have been just sitting in traffic on for an
Idling.
extra hour and 40 minutes are not there anymore.
Yeah.
That's like hours of stuff going, and that's just cars,
Yeah.
you know? So
It's
like, even if they did
mind-boggling.
some kind of staggering system where like these big corporations just got together and were like, okay, who can work from home? Why doesn't accounting and financial take Tuesdays and Thursdays to work from home? And we'll just like alter these things so that it just cuts down on the traffic going into the city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right, getting off our environmental high horse real quick.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one. I like this. We're gonna make this a weekly segment, and you're gonna do all the research, and I'm just gonna say that they're really good things you came up with. So done. Next.
Awesome. All right, so last one on this list. Apparently, and this makes perfect sense on multiple levels. Actually, it doesn't. I was kind of expecting the opposite.
Okay.
Apparently, crime is down substantially everywhere. I was expecting it. It makes sense for certain crimes, like people are afraid to interact with each other, so no one's like going out buying drugs. Like apparently in Detroit, I think I have this number right. Detroit drug arrests are down 40%. 40%. That's obscene.
Yeah.
Um, all of Detroit crime is down 10%, and New York right now is down significantly, significantly too. Um, the one arrests that are going up apparently is domestic abuse, which does make sense.
Yeah,
But
that does.
that
Sadly.
yeah, but that aside, I was expecting long ago, like we've been in lockdown for a hot minute now. I was expecting looting real fast. I told my buddy who lived in this city, I basically not was begging him, but I was trying to convince him, like, dude, get out of New York now. But I'm giving everyone a little bit of a tap on the back here. Broad strokes, blah, 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 blah. But
Yeah.
everyone's really behaving themselves. Like a lot of people, it's really easy to go out onto the internet and see people doing stupid shit because there are stupid people out there. There are crazy people out there. There are Joe Exotics out there that are doing stupid shit. But
Yeah.
a lot of people are staying sane and are staying calm and are doing what they're told. Everyone's staying home.
You know what, dude? If I had to guess, I would say that crime probably would have. If I actually thought about it, it's less surprising the more that I think about it, right? Because if you're gonna say like you're gonna, like you said, like do like a robbery or something like that of a house, like you want there to be a lot of cars out on the road. You want there to be a lot of people because it's harder to find you. And when you're not supposed to be out on the street, if you like rob someone, if somebody calls it in, there's probably only going to be a handful of cars on the road. So cops are not pulling people over right now to give them tickets because they don't want to be face to face with somebody. And they don't want to give people tickets when nobody's working. So they got really nothing else to do. And the person that they probably do want to bust is the one jerk that's stealing from people during a pandemic.
Yeah, yeah.
Also, drug deals. You're not supposed to be within 6 feet of one another. You got to give the drugs to somebody.
So you gotta get up close.
Yeah. So people are probably like if you're going to get drugs, you're probably either just screwing the rules or you're like leaving it in this little stash box and like there's a money box and a drug box and a can of Lysol in the middle.
A can of Lysol in the middle.
Yeah.
You know what? I think the lowering drug business, I guess, for lack of better terms, is also probably helping the rest of crime because a lot of people get so high they need money to pay for it, right? But if you're not buying drugs, you don't need money for drugs anymore, and that all of a sudden solves a lot of your problems.
Yeah.
Not all your problems, but it solves a lot of your problems.
Funny enough, most people commit those like the hard drug users, I think most of them commit crimes when they're sober or when they're not on drugs because they're looking for money to buy them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But there's nowhere to get them anymore. So like, there's nothing to do.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just glad that it's all going down. Like, that's good news. It sucks that domestic violence is going up, but, being locked in a house with, like, your best friend or your wife or your husband, I mean, it sounds like it'd be cool for a while, but, like, I don't care how long or good you get along with somebody. People get on each other's nerves, especially like if you live in a place where like you don't have any property and you can't go outside, or you live in like a one bedroom studio or something.
Oh my God, could you imagine if you lived in a studio?
Yeah, like you can't escape. Like you have to look at their face all the time. You know what I mean?
It's you again.
Like how many people just like are like getting arguments and just there's no other room to go in. You just can't get away.
You literally just can't get away.
Yeah. It's definitely, and everyone's all high tension right now to begin with. So it's as shitty as that is, it makes 100% sense.
It does. But for the rest of it, we're heading in a positive direction. So I'm going to take what we can get.
Hell yeah.
All right. You got anything else for us, buddy?
I do not. This was sprung on me, so I will try to have some good news next time, but I'm going to let you lead this flagship of some good shit, a new segment, SGS.
Some good shit. All right, well, that has been the Chronicles, some good shit. Copyright not trademarked by John Krasinski. Let us know in the comments down below some good things that you are seeing in the world today, because we want to hear all that good news. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to hit that little bell button so you make sure to get all those notifications. Still go to brodownpro.com. We have new shit put up every day, like fuck leg day and fuck arm day.
Hashtag fuck leg day.
There's different versions of those going up as we speak. And yeah, I think that about wraps us up. So we will catch you guys next time.
Thanks for tuning in.
You're listening to Bro Down Podcast all fucking day.